Hey y'all, welcome back to the homestead. It was a cold morning this morning. Brothers are just finishing up their chores, and today we're going to be talking about homeschooling and why we love it. How'd it go, guys?
Went pretty good.
Good. Did you have fun, Abby? Did you have fun doing chores with brothers? Yeah? Alright y'all, so we finished breakfast, and before we get started on all the schooling stuff, Mama's gonna give you a quick overview. Mama had to go nurse the little one. What you up to, J-Bud?
Building Lego things.
Cool.
But I'm breaking my old ones so that I can actually build new ones.
Cool. So, Mama, you used to be a teacher at public school. So what's the difference between homeschool and public school?
Well, yeah, I was a teacher at both public and private school. And probably I'd say the biggest difference between that type of schooling and homeschooling is that instead of letting schooling dictate our way of life, we allow our way of life to dictate how we homeschool. And so there's a big difference there. And there's just a lot of freedom with homeschooling that I've really come to enjoy. Every year looks a little different depending on what's going on in our life. And every year I'm learning and praying and seeking the Father for more wisdom on how we can live more purposefully. And as a result, our homeschooling just gets better and better every year. So one kind of practical example of this is that as a new homeschooling mom, I really tried to keep a strict schedule that we would go by every day. And I think when children are really little, that's good. They need that consistent schedule. But as we got into this homestead way of life, our children got older, I quickly realized that keeping a tight schedule actually was just causing more stress than good. And so over the years, I've allowed, especially the older children, to have just more of a flexible routine, and I've allowed them to make their own schedule and learn how to manage their own time. So they're given a set number of hours of different subjects that they're to accomplish each week, but it's up to them to figure out how to work that into their life. And they've got a lot going on besides just the sit-down homeschool stuff. So over the years, I've come to realize the importance of our children learning to manage their own time amidst all the fullness of life. Like a cow gets out, they've got to go take care of that. When they come back to their schedule for the day, their routine for the day, are they going to feel overwhelmed, or are they going to be like, you know what, this is okay, we're just going to move forward from here. And so time management in the real world is just so important, and I really appreciate the freedom that we have in homeschooling for our children to learn that valuable skill. Alright, so another way that homeschooling has been different is we actually homeschool year-round. And so I've divided the year into 4 quarters. Each quarter has 13 weeks, and of those 13 weeks, 2 weeks are set aside for our feasts, biblical feasts that we keep. 3 weeks are set aside for just big homestead projects, and then 8 weeks is what I call full-on school, and that's when the most part of our homeschool is accomplished. So each of the children have a little chart here, and this is for record keeping. That's part of a requirement for our state, is to keep a record of time spent schooling. So I just made a really simple checklist, and they each have their own little clipboard, and they keep track of all the subjects that as they're accomplishing them. Come on, Abby. We've got a baby in the background who we keep waiting for her to be quiet. So there are a few items that the children actually, I call them dailies. They're things that they do year-round. So even when we take breaks, they're still doing some things like history. We include Bible in history, so they do their Bible time pretty much daily. Science, I include all of our homesteading skills that they're learning, animal husbandry, gardening, all their chores and things like that I include. And so that's done pretty much daily year-round as well. And then the other two things are physical education, because they just are active and they're getting exercise every day, and practical arts. I've included in their checklist here infant and child care, which they're working on right now. So yeah, that fits under practical arts. I think that any child who dreams of becoming a parent someday needs to learn how to take care of babies and children and train them and interact with them. So I include that under practical arts on their checklist. And then of course we have the basics of English language arts, math, more science. They each have fine arts of some sort that they do, and then electives, which are a little bit different for each of them. So today what we're going to highlight is actually what we call buddy time, and that's under the category of both English language arts and math. So I have paired up 3 of our older children with 3 of our younger children, and they do buddy time, and it's a little bit different for each one because they're at different levels, but the olders help the youngers, teaching them all sorts of different things and just spend like quality time with them. So Josh is going to highlight a little bit of buddy time today of the 3 different pairs that we have. Alright, so before he does that though, I just wanted to really quickly talk about the practicalities of being in a tiny house with a large family and homeschooling, because some of you might be in a similar situation. We have to do a lot of tidy ups throughout the day because our dining room table is also where we do a lot of the sit down homeschooling. So we have to tidy up often so that space is kept clean and clear for homeschooling. Something I'm super excited about now that we just got recently is a big storage area. So we'll show you that. That's made a huge difference, huh Josh? Mm-hmm. In just keeping track of all of the school supplies that the children have. We used to have nowhere to really put the supplies. So we'll show you what they have now, which has been a huge help. We have these bookshelves custom made for all of our homeschool supplies. So we've got drawers now where we can put science things. Got all of our special little science books and things that are used for science. We've got a drawer for English language arts. So we've got little letter tiles and, oh, this is math. Our phonics cards, things like that go in here. We have one for math. All of our math manipulatives and cards. And then the 4 older children each have their own drawer as well for keeping all of their things. So here's Joshua's drawer, and that's where they keep their charts. And it's just a huge help if you have a place for all of these things, and then it saves a lot of time. Children are not having to go and try and find their things or ask somebody to move so they can get in and grab what they need. This is really accessible and it's just a huge help. I love it.
So Esther's Abby's big buddy, and right now she's reading a book to Abby.
Apple harvest, can you say apple harvest? Have apple. Pine cone, can you say pine cone? Sweater, can you say sweater? Fire. School bus, can you say school bus? Doors. Can you say colorful tree? Cute. Fox, can you say fox? Fox. Hay, can you say hay? Hay. Good job. Acorn, can you say acorn? Good job. Geese. Yeah, that's geese. Birds flying south. That's geese. Mm-hmm.
So what other things do you do with Abby for buddy time, Esther?
I teach her numbers, letters, colors, and I teach her how to tidy up too.
Cool. Did you have something you wanted to say, Abby?
This is meat.
Is Mama making broth?
Esther Pie's gonna make some soup today, so we're using our chicken broth.
What is this, Caleb?
This is a wallboard. So after we had this addition section built here, we took all the wallboards off and that was done. So now we're putting them back up, but we have to custom cut them again to fit the new area.
Wow. Ta-da. Good job, guys. It's not easy to make cuts like that actually fit in place. First try.
Nate did all the cutting, so he did a really good job.
So Nathan is Biddle's big buddy, and what are you teaching her right now?
Well, I'm doing math. It's a math game I made up where she adds different amounts of trees together or fish and stuff like that.
Cool. So what else do you do with Biddle, Nathan?
Well, sometimes I read her books and teach her about the sounds of the alphabet.
So normally I'm J-Bud's buddy, and we do English language arts. I teach him about phonics and grammar stuff, math, all sorts of things like that. But something really cool about homeschooling is we have a lot of freedom. So today, Joseph's kind of doing his buddy time with Nathan, learning about some construction. So before we end out the video here, I'm sure people are going to be wondering what curriculums we use.
Yeah, so for English language arts, we've been using this for years. Somebody actually just gave this to me and we love it, so I keep using it. It's Spell to Write and Read, and then the Wise Guide for Spelling that goes along with it. So this is a complete K through 12 English language arts curriculum that I just really enjoy, and we do a lot of phonics cards and rule tunes and things like that on the side to go along with that. For history, we use The Story of the World. It's a 4-book set, and we've gone through it a couple times already. It's good. It's not perfect, but it is good. There's some grammatical errors in it, and I would like a little bit more American history or US history, so we do a lot of other supplemental books along with it, but just as a foundation it's really good. The Light and the Glory is a supplemental history book that we do along with lots of other history books. The children really love history just read aloud to them, so that's what we do for most of our history. And then geography just kind of goes along with whatever we're reading. We've got maps and we've got a globe. We'll get online and look up the places that we're reading about and learn geography with history. So for science, we use a lot of Answers in Genesis curriculum, mostly actually DVDs. This may have come from somewhere else actually, but Go Science, it's a whole set of really elementary school science activities that are done in a really fun way. And then for high school science, I really love the 101 series. They have chemistry, physics, biology, and then we just ordered their general science. The boys really enjoy this whole set, right Josh?
Yep.
Yeah, even chemistry. You were like, chemistry? But you even enjoy the chemistry, huh?
Yep.
Yep, really good curriculum. For math, we started out with what's called Right Start Math, which was really good when I just had a few children. It's very hands-on, lots of manipulatives, a lot of parent interaction. So that was a good foundation, but as the days have become more busy, our family has grown. I have recently just switched to Splash Math. That goes through grade 5, And then for the older boys, they've kind of just taken it on independently. We've got lots of different books and videos for geometry and algebra and upper high school level math. So they are kind of all at their own stage. And for them also, high school, I feel it's really important for them to understand just life math. So they're doing a lot of math with figuring out their homes and homestead plots and figuring out costs for materials and what it's going to take for them to earn the money that they need to earn for building their homesteads. Yeah, just a lot of life skills math for the older boys as well. All right, there's quite a few other things I could share, but I'll stop here because I could probably go on all day.
Well, that's about all we got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. We pray blessings over you and yours, and whatever you do, do it with your whole heart. There you go, Abby. What do you say?
Thank you.
You're welcome.